Hey, we're live, Dr. V.
Oh, I couldn't see anything.
Here
Oh,
we
that's
are.
better. My
That's
future
better.
is so bright I have to wear shades
I know. I felt like that all day today.
all day.
The future's been very bright. A little too bright for me. Feeling stiff.
You're stiff.
Lots of meetings.
Don't you have a massage? Don't you have a resident massage therapist?
I do, but
Wow.
it's like the contractor, that never can work on his own house.
The shoemaker whose kids have no shoes.
No shoes.
New shoes or no shoes? No new shoes.
No shoes.
Snowshoes? That's truly Western New York. I need to get my snowshoes.
Or New England. Yeah.
Or New England.
Or New England.
Because you can't get that from here.
You definitely
can't. Have your snowshoes.
Can't get that from here.
You got to remember.
Yes, that too.
Hey,
so we got 4 people.
Share this thing. Good. I got to share.
Who's joining us today?
I don't know yet.
Come comment over in the comments.
Somebody's there. I've got to go to your. Are you on your? You're on your personal profile.
I'm on my personal profile.
Ooh.
I like to keep things personal.
It's good.
especially with times like these, right?
Yeah.
It's important we keep it personal.
Nobody wants anonymity.
No.
Well, people want anonymity, but it's not going to work for you.
John Walsh. Holes in their shoes. That's
holes in shoes.
That happens. That happens for sure.
Wait, so I can share my time. This is very interesting. So this is still a little quirky thing. I can share to a group only if it's a watch party. And then you get that audio and video, and it is so confusing. I just don't want to go there. So I'm just
we're still trying to work all the quirks out of this thing, but we're getting there. We're
little by little.
We've come a long ways, Dr. V. A long ways.
Yeah, just like Virginia Slims. No, that's an old reference. So.
I don't think I've heard that one before.
No, you come a long way, baby. That was Virginia Slims was a cigarette brand, designed for women.
I remember that commercial. Yes.
There you go.
Now I've got where you're coming from.
I'm sharing to a page, which is my Dr. Vogelman page, because that's where some people follow me.
That's what I'm doing too. I'm sharing to a page, which is my business page, because that's where some people follow me.
Business. Hey, we're up to 5 people. Somebody's here.
Hey, that's cool.
Make yourself known. We can always post a link. You can come on in. Can they do that on this? Yeah, they can do that.
Yes, they can. In fact, I'll do that in a second.
That's good.
I'll post a link. I'm just trying to share to my page.
About videos and streaming.
Yes.
Did you call this don't dream? Did you call this don't dream it, stream it?
I did again. I keep calling it.
Good.
I figured, repetition is probably good, right?
It is good. And I just that actually bubbled out of my little subconscious based on Rocky Horror Pictures.
I know. It's pretty funny.
Weird thing.
It's funny where our different enlightening ideas come from.
Yeah, you get inspiration. I've gotten inspiration from a can of beans too, for that matter. It's just you never know where it's going to come from.
You totally never know where it's going to come from. This is very, very true. Very true indeed.
I'm going to share to one more page, and then you'll have all of my attention.
That's perfect. I'm doing kind of the same thing here in the background.
You'd think there would be an easier way to do this from one page to the next.
There should be an easier way to do this. For sure, there should be an easier way to do this. But unfortunately, we still have to go with the old-fashioned way.
You know what's interesting? Because I just saw my little StreamYard account because I was trying to figure out, do I do the StreamYard thing or do I be live from this point forward? Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing was StreamYard still lists like 5 different pages from when I had an account, I think 2 years ago. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't quite figured out here is that it's supposed to share in both spots. Like I've got it so it says to share comments to all. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, it just says it's going to YouTube or it's showing up on YouTube instead of Facebook. Yeah. So that's one thing I've been trying to iron out.
But you are getting the YouTube to stream. Is that correct?
Correct. I am getting the YouTube to stream.
Good. All right. Is there anybody out there listening? Anybody have any questions, comments?
Things you'd like to tell us about?
Holes in their. The only thing I see is holes in their shoes.
So far.
There's holes.
Holes in the shoes.
There's 6 people. I don't count, right? I'm not one of the 6.
No, we don't count.
Oh, good. We don't count.
We do not count.
We have poor math skills.
Indeed, we do.
Right.
Indeed, we do.
Hey, do comments ever appear in the StreamYard thing too, or no? The live comments. Oh yeah, they do.
They do.
Hey,
So
I'm seeing them now.
We do see the live comments, and I'm actually down commenting in our stream.
I see. I see private chat, and then on the side over here, I see live comments, and you're the one commenting by.
I am commenting.
You're sending the links, or to the.
I'm actually going over and putting in the links on our stream on Facebook.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw the YouTube one going. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
So there are some things that you can do. I might be swayed to yours,
some things. To
the dark side of StreamYard instead of Be Live. I don't know.
I like it so far. Like I said, the only thing I haven't quite figured out is how to make sure my comments go to Facebook or YouTube. It says it's supposed to go to all, but I can't make. It's not going to all for me for some reason.
We lost a few people. We're down to 3. This is the bouncing thing. You know, the funny thing is, though. Yeah, we just were complaining about something. It was probably the StreamYard and Be Live people who disappeared. So,
yes, if anybody wants to join us,
you can join. We can talk. We can have questions, video concerns, anything from your strategy, your tactics, your equipment.
We can talk about anything. Exactly, because the good news is we're going to all go back to work. The bad news is we might need some new strategies going to go back to work.
Yeah, no kidding.
We've been talking about a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, you're going to have to put food on the table. The question is, will you be doing it from the comfort of your own home or from an office? And will you be stuck in an hour-long commute each way in the future? Or will you be able to have a 30-second commute to your home office?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this changes things. Like whether more people are going to be working virtually, if lots of businesses decide to reduce overhead and do a lot of things like that. I think this is going to change a lot of stuff out there when we get back.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, because I had this conversation with somebody the other day, which was, there's this, I was one of my friends on Twitter, there's this notion amongst managers that, and these are the ones who are kind of middle managers and kind of insecure about their workforce, that unless you show butts in seats, you lose all control over your workforce. And nothing could be further from the truth. But there's always this fear that if you can't, tap somebody on the shoulder, that you're not going to get productivity out of them. But the reality is, when I was living in DC, I mean, it would take me anywhere from 50 minutes to, it's taken me as long as 2.5 hours to get from my home place to my work because of weather or things like that.
Yeah.
And, just a tiny thin layer of ice on the beltway would cause havoc, and it would take horrible time. Well, I would think in New England, you'd be able to handle anything like that.
It's the worst. No.
Is that because all the people from down south?
We can handle it, but we have very narrow roads.
Oh yeah.
In a lot of places, so then you get stuck in those very narrow colonial roads.
Yeah.
And there's that.
Yeah.
And that becomes a mess. So
yeah, those were great for riding horseback and for herding cattle.
Not for commuting. No.
Not for commuting.
Not so much for commuting, no. But they've changed a lot of stuff up here in the last couple of years. They've added extra lanes to the major artery expressways, and it's improved traffic a lot. So it's much better than when I used to commute to work 20 years ago.
Were you down to Boston, or where were you commuting?
I had to commute to the suburbs of Boston, so I commuted every day to like Burlington, Bedford, Mass area every day.
Were you around 128? Or?
I was on Route 3, so north of 128.
Okay.
And I would be like an exit off of there before getting to 128. And then when I first moved to Boston, I commuted up from Waltham to Bedford, so I did drive 128 to the north a little bit. But the commuting situation here has improved a lot.
Yeah,
Boston drivers are the best in the world. Where turning signals are a sign of weakness.
Turning signals are optional. Optional equipment. They're optional equipment on your new car.
Exactly. And a sign of weakness. Don't forget the sign of weakness. That's what we say. Turning signals are a sign of weakness. I
had a patient of mine in DC who was a driving instructor. And he told me one time, he said, you'll never guess, they did surveys of drivers. And the main reason that people who do not use their turn signals, the main reason was given that it made driving more exciting. And I'm trying to figure out, exciting for you, the driver, or for the people around you?
I know, right?
That's just crazy.
Maybe both.
More reasons to get good at video, so you don't have to drive anywhere if you don't want to.
Exactly. So who's hanging out with us today? Make yourself known.
And we got a lot of lurkers.
You see you lurking today.
I think once you've got the challenge going, people are going to feel a little bit more comfortable.
I know. So we're doing
working in a group, where there's less exposure.
Starts tomorrow, Dr. V.
Yeah, that's right. Today is 30-day challenge eve. You got your gifts. You got the 30-day video challenge eve, 30-day video challenge tree up.
Gifts.
You decorate it with a little YouTube logo.
Nobody said I need to have gifts.
just GIFs or GIFs.
Well,
I'm still concerned. You have those. Yeah,
I have those. That's no problem.
That's what you need. You need some 30-day challenge.
I'm having more conversations with people by GIF.
Yeah, I'm actually guilty of that. I'm doing a lot of that.
I'm participating with you, but I often do that with other friends too. I'm guilty.
Wouldn't it be something to create the 30-day? Is it GIF or GIF? I'm still confused. Other people tell me GIF, 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 and some people will say no, that's a peanut butter, and other people say
peanut butter,
and other people say GIF. But I've had some really high-level tech people say GIF, so I don't know.
It's like how we used to refer.
Tomato, potato, potato. Let's call the whole GIF off. GIF off. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so let's see. What do you want? In the video challenge, I wanted to make sure about something because I've had this asked. Several people have asked me the same question, which is, does this video challenge for 30 days mean that I have to create a video every day for 30 days, or do I have to go live for every single day for 30 days, or what? Please tell me so I know what I'm getting myself into.
That is a great question. Well, the way I formulated this is that they say it takes 21 days to make a new habit, right?
Right.
And so I've gone through before the biggest fears in video, but the number one is getting your face on camera. So we try to get people over that quickly. And the best way to do it is within a tightly knit small group where everybody has the same fear that you do. And so it's great if you can go on and do a live video every day, and you're going to do it within the group. So you don't have to worry about anybody else outside the group seeing it. It's just
so it's not going public. It's not going public.
Not going public.
Okay.
But you know what's great is usually after a couple of days, people start to go. People in the challenge start to go, wow, this was easy. Why am I not making content that everybody else sees? So you might just decide, hey, it's time for me to make some content that everybody else sees, and then you can do your videos on your own timeline and just share them back to the group. So that you got the accountability of us knowing what you've been doing. So that works out perfectly. So that's kind of the principle behind it. And
so that's the principle. Will you be doing any critiques, or what's the story on that?
I'm sure we'll be doing some critiques.
Yeah,
I'm sure a little bit if people want that. I mean,
can we critique their hats?
We do some critique. Exactly. We may not critique their hats.
We're not doing handy hat, because if you're wearing that Patriots thing again, I'm critiquing that for sure.
I'm sure you're gonna. I was gonna wear my Red Sox hat today, but I know you critique that as well.
I'm a little more friendly to the Red Sox than I am to the Patriots, because
Want me to go change hats?
No, it's okay. You keep your darn hat.
Wait, do I have another?
How about them Bills, or what?
Yeah, they actually did really well last year.
They did.
I was surprised.
I wasn't.
They had a pretty good.
They're going to do better this year.
I think so. And of course, we don't have Tom Brady anymore. So
yeah, where did he go? I lost track. Was that the Tampa
Bay?
You've got to be kidding me.
Kid you not?
I thought those were the rumors. I actually thought he was going to go to Vegas or to San Diego. Not San Diego. LA Chargers.
Somewhere else, but
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
It's like O.J. Simpson when he left the Bills. He went to San Francisco. I think he only lasted like a year or maybe two at that.
Yeah, not long. Not long at all.
No.
No. So live video challenge. What else can I tell you about the live video challenge?
I mean, so you can have videos where you maybe do a live with several people within the boxes, because you can put like 6 people in.
Sure.
So you can do 6 or 4 this one.
And you can do a lot. You can do a live out of anything you want.
StreamYard
you can use StreamYard if you want to practice with StreamYard. You can use Be Live. You can use Zoom. You can make them right from your phone. and use just the
Actually, I was
Facebook.
thinking, what about so if true, but if somebody wants to do, let's say they want to do Instagram Live, were you doing anything with that or no?
I'm going to talk about Instagram Live. I'm not one that's done a lot of Instagram Lives, but we might try that. I'm not.
Yeah, my wife did, and she loved it because it had huge reach. I mean, really huge reach. And it's interesting to try and you keep trying all these different ways of broadcasting. Find out first of all which one you like the best, which is the easiest for you to use. But secondly, also take into consideration which gives you the greatest amount of reach.
Yeah, which one does your audience hang out on?
Yeah.
So when we look at things in general, right? We know that. For certain things, our audiences might hang out on Facebook. They might hang out on YouTube. And then Instagram tends to be like a younger, more athletic, and not necessarily.
Yes and no. It's changing.
Generally, that's how we think of it, right?
Yeah, we think of it that way. That's like what TikTok is now. What Instagram was years ago is what TikTok is now. But you see people like Gary Vee, you see Lewis Howes, a few other people moving into TikTok because it's kind of the Wild West. Similar to what Instagram was, say, 3-5 years ago.
Everybody likes the Wild West.
Well, that's why I live. I live here in the Wild West. I live in the Great White North.
Does TikTok have a live video component? I'm not a TikTok user. So
I just started, so I just threw up a couple of videos, and it's nothing special because I'm not really. You need to track the hashtags if you're going to be doing TikTok and find out what the popular topics are. You do not have to be dancing like some fool, doing the same challenges as everybody else. But it's interesting to see the popularity of various hashtags, particularly if they fit into your particular business. Maybe you're a healthcare provider, maybe you're involved in solar, maybe you're involved in car sales, or whatever it is in terms of a local business. There is the potential for reaching a greater audience regionally, but you have to target them. Or they say in New England, you have to target them.
Target. I got to go to Target.
Do a Target run.
Yeah.
In my car.
Target run. Yeah. Geez, I had something brilliant I was going to say and I completely spaced it.
It's all right. If it's that brilliant, it'll come back. Otherwise,
it must not have been that good. Yeah, because I have not played around on TikTok at all. I honestly admit has not been a place that I have hung my hat yet.
I've tried it. It's just it's. I think it has tremendous potential, but it is so unusual and so new. And I've heard this from more than one person, which is if anybody sets themselves up as a guru or an expert in TikTok, run, because they're totally lying.
Yeah, because it's way too new.
It's too new. So
way too new to make that.
But certain principles of video and principles of business and principles of creating content, they all still apply, just like bricks and mortar strategies and tactics apply to the online world. So,
of course.
Yeah.
So you guys been doing a lot of stuff on Instagram?
No, it's just my wife is the Instagram person.
Right.
Yeah, Mama Maggie's Kitchen. She's got her Instagram stories really pull in a lot of activity. And the only downside is you've got to be on there. A lot of times people will send you direct messages on Instagram, and then you've got a lot of people. I will say, however, she's had some tremendous deepening relationships with her audience members, and that has really helped to drive traffic in terms of her blog.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so people want to know more about you. They want to, it's sort of like touch the robe of the master, all those types of things. Take a look behind the scenes. And the Instagram stories, a lot of times she will do recipes from step by step on the stories. And it's amazing to see what kind of engagement she gets. So I have yet to figure out stories. I'm learning a little bit about that, but I know also that I've taken some branding work in talking about creating sort of a consistent look across Instagram for your posts. And that would include, carrying on into the videos. IGTV is another one. I wrote a course for doctors called Instapatients. And it wasn't particularly about Instagram, but it was using social media to attract more patients to your business. And so Insta for me wasn't necessarily totally IG. It was really, looking at making things a little bit faster for you.
Right.
Just add water. You get instant patience.
Instant patience.
Exactly.
A lot of people could use some instant patience.
Yeah,
too, you know?
especially when they're commuting. I think nowadays,
Wow.
our patients were a little thin because we were trying to get things delivered in terms of food getting delivered to the house. Fortunately, my brother-in-law came through and sent us a bunch of vegetables, which is great. We suddenly had salad and all kinds of fresh stuff. It was great, and we've managed to. You have to wake up at different times or make sure that you can find those delivery windows nowadays. If we looked at Amazon Fresh and Whole Foods and others, and gosh, the local places here, which is Vaughn's, which is kind of a Safeway subsidiary, and it's very interesting because if you keep checking, there's going to be a window for delivery that opens up, and you just jump in there as fast as you can. Yeah, you have to jump in, and it's too bad we don't have people jumping in right now.
I know.
Hey, you like that segue? You like that segue?
Jump in right now.
It wasn't a two-wheeler.
So what's the what are things like out in your neck of the woods? I know, very quiet here. Almost.
It's super quiet now.
It's like a ghost town.
You know why? It's because the Donald is having his COVID press conference right now. I think that's what's happening.
That could be it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
It's hard. It's
hard
to
when
be Donald.
It's hard to be Donald.
Yes. Yeah,
Donald
I saw
Duck.
some photos of Boston today that just shocked me. There's this one park.
Traffic.
There's this one park that I used to go to quite frequently.
Yeah. And
it's usually a very busy park. I think it's down in Newton, and it's just so quiet. Like,
I used to hang out at the Commons all the time.
Cars. Yeah, the Commons. Yeah. I mean,
the Commons with the ducks. The ducks.
The ducks in the Commons.
The ducks in the Commons.
And the duck boats on the river.
On the river. Yeah, we had. I remember when I was in school, we used to have. What was it? Way back when? Oh my gosh, in the 70s, it was. They had a competition with boats, and people put together like cardboard boats and other things. These are all the undergrads, and they called it the Yagata Regatta, and there were a lot of boats that sank on the Charles River.
I bet. I bet. Oh yeah, we used to do these great contests too when we were in college. We had these film contests. We used to. I'm trying to think of what we used to call it. It was so much fun. It was like a scavenger. It was like a scavenger hunt.
A scavenger.
No, we used to have to go and find ways to creatively develop our own film when they took our chemicals away. And
boy.
Oh yeah, that was nuts.
That's hard. That's so hard.
Those were good times. Good times.
You take your chemicals away. That's what they would do at the Rochester Institute of Technology. Let's take away your technology and see how good you are.
I know. See how good you really are at figuring out how to do something by the seat of your pants.
MIT, RIT.
Yep.
There's what was it? I was thinking about the RIT struck me when I first saw those initials. I thought of the dye that you used to use to make your costumes. Dye. Yeah, RIT dye. That wasn't made at RIT, was it? No. Okay, good. That's too low tech. That's too low tech.
I'm not sure how that got its name, to be honest. RIT dye.
It wasn't the writ of habeas corpus because it's got a W in it.
Either. No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I actually think what's going to happen with this live broadcast, we're going to get a bunch of people on the replay.
I think you're right.
So what I would suggest to those of you who are watching on the replay, just do the little hashtag replay, and we'll be able to find you and answer your questions.
Exactly.
And then we have the
30-day challenge.
The 30-day challenge.
Yes, we do.
I'm challenging for more than 30 days. Just ask my wife. Ask my wife how challenging I am.
I don't think I have to. I think I've already figured out that. Yeah.
That's why behind me, well, you can't really see it.
Exactly.
Well, there are wine bottles.
That's like that thing going around right now. It's so nice to be quarantined at home with someone you care about.
Actually, we've had that statement more than once, which is we walk around every once in a while. We'll say, it's been so incredibly nice being quarantined with you.
Yes, I keep saying that to my wife all the time.
It's much better to be with friendly people.
Much better. Yeah. So have you had any friends that have come down with the virus yet?
We have friends and relatives of friends, and there's a report of a teacher locally And so it just depends on how much contact people have had. The reality is there are so few tests. There are so few tests. You really don't know who is positive or not. And I'm willing to bet right now, like even in San Diego County, I think the rate is probably 5 to 10 times what we know it to be because people aren't getting tested. So that's all.
Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, we're not going to get into all that.
No, not going to get it. It just got me thinking because I had a friend of mine yesterday who said that he and his family have come down with it. So, yeah.
But I mean, it's the same sort of thing, which is, just because you test positive doesn't mean that you're going to get a lot of symptoms. No. But the other thing is, the greatest concern is you don't want to carry it to other people, particularly elderly people, people with asthma, chronic lung disease, diabetes, heart disease, all that other stuff like that, because that's just not fair to them.
Right.
And that's the whole notion of the social distancing, which, by the way, people are pretty good here in Coronado. Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised.
I'm seeing that here.
And it restores my faith in humanity.
And it's funny to hear people say, like, we've had some events today on Zoom, and one of the people who popped in, she goes, yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. Social distancing caused me to be late today. Because the delay and the 6 feet, and so she was late to her meeting today. But
I've seen. So we've been walking.
Excuses to be late for your meetings.
Yeah, it's a great excuse.
Well, because I was social distancing.
I was incredibly distant.
Well, I'm like that normally, but
I was 6 feet farther away. Couldn't get to my button.
Yeah, I just couldn't quite make it back in time.
Hey, you got a lot lighter. Did you turn on a light?
No, no. It's actually getting darker here.
Oh, so maybe I guess your camera must have adjusted to the darkness.
I keep meaning to go turn on a light. I do this a lot of times. This is the funny part of, I think, anywhere that you live. If you do a lot of online meetings, all of a sudden you'll be sitting here, right? It looks pretty decent now. Then you've been on the phone or you've been on the camera for like another 30 minutes. Yeah. Next thing you know, it's pitch black. And it's like you never even notice it. You're just like sitting in the dark all of a sudden on a camera.
Well, but I think
with other people looking at you.
But the marvelous thing is that the cameras actually do adapt because you've done nothing.
They do adapt.
Because it got darker outside, your camera, I guess the aperture, so you just opened up and you brought in more light, so I can actually see your face more than I did when we first.
I just got my overhead light, and that's all. And then the other thing that I noticed when I was on with you the other day.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and like my face was like bright red. I'm going, am I like, is something wrong? Instead of
you got the fever?
Is something wrong? Did my blood pressure just spike or something?
Blood pressure.
But it's funny. It's just the later day lighting and the angle or something. I turned on an overhead light. I look perfectly fine now. Mm-hmm. It's just the end of day lighting.
Yeah,
so lighting does play an important role in video, obviously.
And I definitely prefer natural light wherever I can get it.
Me too. Most of the time, that's all I do is film with natural light, and then I get a couple lights overhead. I do a little fill in, but not much.
I have a friend of mine up in the Bay Area, over in Oakland, and she would only do her Google Hangouts in the morning because the light. She had a window, and her whole computer setup was there, and so only if she didn't go live by 11 in the morning, she wasn't going to go live. But it was interesting because she had screens like you do, and we have the same screen here where the screens were behind her and they covered the kitchen and all kinds of things. But man, it was just, and so when I finally got to see her setup in person, which I did several years back, I was very impressed because it was totally different than you would have expected it to be. You see that a lot. And that's why people like those behind the scenes things. So
people like one of the scenes that I use a lot here when I do my live streams and webinars and stuff is I have a sunroom off the back of my house and it overlooks my backyard, and my backyard is like very woodsy. I mean, it looks like you're in the middle of the forest almost, and people love that. I get so many comments when I do that. But the only challenge is I've got 2 skylights in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And depending on the angle of the sun.
Yeah.
It's just like all of a sudden I look very godlike because my head just like lights up, and you get this and the reflection, and it's kind of crazy.
There's no place like Dome.
But it's a great spot. And one of the things I always tell people when they're starting out with video anyways is to try to utilize the natural light, try to shoot more outdoors. It's more forgiving. And
but also cloudy days are more forgiving too, because you don't get the harsh shadows.
No,
just like with photography,
and you don't get the harsh sun.
Yeah.
So that's one of my other challenges. Wherever I go, I'm always wearing my glasses. I have photograys. I have like super sensitive eyes, which makes it very, very hard to take photos of me. So I'm
here.
Yeah. Thank you. I could use those.
You're welcome.
I got sunglasses that are just as dark as that. They look very similar, actually.
Oh boy.
Yep. Lucky me, right? Lucky
so
me.
I think you lucky duck. Yeah, we have a couple of members of our family who are light sensitive.
It's a beautiful thing. I also have this other thing that's very unusual, that if I look up at the bright light, I start sneezing.
Hey, people are starting to come back again.
Nice. They must have got done with the president's thing. Yeah, so if you're watching, come say hi.
Come on in.
Come on in. I posted a link.
You can hit that StreamYard link. Come on in.
Yeah. Come on back.
It's not hard. Come in with StreamYard.
Yeah, so I haven't quite figured out like the time of day yet, but it seems like mid-afternoon, early afternoon seems to be better than late day right now.
Yeah, I like morning and early. I have one window in my office, because right now I'm in the dining room tonight. And in my office, if the light is just right, I can't broadcast really like at 5:30, 6 o'clock, because the sun comes straight into my eyes. Yeah, I mean, I like it when it's not coming straight in, and if I do the side lighting, it's too much light, and you just see half black, half light.
Yeah,
that's kind of tough.
Late night's been pretty good too. I stopped over. Troy McDonald popped in on one of ours yesterday.
Yeah,
and I stopped into one of his. He did it at midnight last night.
Oh boy!
Up at midnight, I hopped into Troy McDonald's stream. I think I was or just to watch, anyways. I think I was like one of the only people watching.
Yeah, I'm not adverse to doing a late night, because I'm 3 hours. I'm 3 hours behind the East Coast.
I know. I actually thought that more people would pop in on late night stuff.
I think they're tired, or they're streaming. Or they're streaming. And bandwidth. Let me tell you one more thing about bandwidth, because I was testing with speedtest.net a little while ago, and I was only getting 70 download. But fortunately it was 12 upload, and that's all I cared about was the upload for this broadcast.
Right.
And mind you, I was in the kitchen within 20 feet of the modem, which tells me there's a lot of activity going on in the neighborhood as far as bandwidth is concerned.
Yeah. A lot of people ask me, what's a good bandwidth?
Good question.
Like good minimal bandwidth.
Yeah.
And when I used to do a lot of stuff on Hangouts with the folks in Australia before their main cable went through, like 5.1 or 5.2, it was horrible. Yeah. So that's like the absolute minimum, and that's terrible.
I remember that when I started with Hangouts, I think you needed at least 4.
Yeah, I was going to say ideal minimum now I think is like about 15.5.
Really? Yeah, because I'm getting 10 to 15 nowadays here, and even I'm going to have to try another hardwire.
Unfortunately, the low upload speeds are a little bit of an issue, because you've got back and forth, and so you do need a fairly decent upload speed as well as download speed. Yeah. It's not like you're just downloading movies.
Well, no, that's true. Yeah. So I would rather. I mean, that's one of the things I love about our local library is that their upload and download are equal. So, and I've seen it pretty much consistently around 150 up and down. And that 150 up is spectacular, because when I've uploaded videos, I just walk. I take a 15-minute walk over to the library, and I just start uploading videos. So,
yeah, we don't take advantage of that or think about that enough for those of us who have a website, because you're uploading images and stuff to your website, and it really pays to have a higher upload speed if you can get it.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
I think mine is half of my download speed. I've got like 150 seconds.
That's pretty good, because our normal download here is, pretty much it used to always be above 400, because that's what we were paying for, but now it's been hovering in the 200 to 350 range.
Right.
And the upload though was consistently at 17, and now it's in that 10 to 15 range.
I'm surprised it hasn't kept up with the times, but I know the cellular service, you've got more of like a half of what your download speed is your upload. But a lot of cable companies haven't kept up with that.
I'm tempted every once in a while to pop into one of these broadcasts just using my phone with the LTE that's over on our main street, because you get 4 bars. 4 bars when you're up on Orange Avenue, our main street, whereas
somewhere 4 bars.
Here, 4 bars. All the bars are closed.
Yes.
So, hey, I've got to do another broadcast.
I know. You got to get going.
I got to get going.
But nice of you to come hang out with me.
Hey, it's fun. Tomorrow's the big challenge.
Tomorrow is a big challenge. So
5 Eastern?
Starts at 5 Eastern time. Okay. Come join the group. It's over in the comments over there.
Yes, group joining us there. And this will be a private group, right?
It is a private group.
Good. Okay.
So do come, hang out with us. We're going to have a great time.
Sounds good.
Do some heavy lifting and make lots of video. Yay!
Oh.
And on that note, I'm going to let you get your next broadcast.
Thank you.
Bye for now, everybody. We'll see you
tomorrow.
Mañana. Have a good crowd on tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody on with us.
Tons of people tomorrow.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.
Hope you're all well.